Ah, yellow paint. Everyone loves yellow paint. Okay, but seriously, in the last 15 years or so, visual cues in video games have become almost something of a crutch for game developers to guide the player on the intended linear path. Now, I don't really see anything wrong with this. Maybe it's because I've gotten so used to it, I just kind of tune it out now. But lately, the topic has been brought back up because of, go figure, Resident Evil 4 Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, no less, on its blatant use of yellow paint.
What? No. No. What? No. What?
Now, the reason for yellow paint in games, otherwise known as signposting, is often used to indicate objects that can be interacted with. I think the first time I personally started noticing the color yellow was in Uncharted. Naughty Dog was obviously not the first developer to make use of color coding in its games as a means of directing players' decisions and behaviors. It's just one of the first that I noticed. Mirror's Edge was another, but instead of yellow, it was red.
Oh my God!
Anyways, back to Uncharted. From Drake's Fortune onward, Naughty Dog has used yellow to direct its players' attention and also to signify game elements they should interact with. For example, Uncharted 2's dramatic train hanging off a snowy cliffside opening that depicts Nathan Drake climbing through the train demonstrates Naughty Dog's awareness of how it needs to educate players on how to navigate the levels. Players follow a path through the train based on conspicuously yellow things ranging from pipes to seats. For Naughty Dog, it's a compromise between user-friendly design and immersion. Fast forwarding a bit, even Resident Evil 4 Remake last year used yellow paint to mark climbable ladders and to indicate breakable crates and barrels. Apparently, in a lot of games that have this visual cue is due to playtesters just not knowing where to go sometimes, due to the increasingly high-fidelity visuals. The push towards more realistic art increases the need for more unrealistic visual cues, unfortunately. Now, what bothers a lot of players, and why this argument keeps getting brought back up year after year after year, is how it feels like it's insulting our intelligence to figure these things out on our own.
Low intelligence. You calling me stupid?
Yes!
Most of us have been playing games all our lives and don't really need such a visual cue to tell us that there's a wall or a ladder that's climbable or there's like a crate or something that you can break. Assassin's Creed, as a series which has always featured tons of climbing and parkouring, has never really had this issue. It always had clever visual design of buildings and ledges and scalable objects, and it feels less intrusive to what most other games do. Hell, even the last 3 Assassin's Creed games, there's almost no visual cues because you can climb literally pretty much everything. Everything and anything. God of War in 2018 also used yellow paint, but it interwoven it into the story in a way where at the very end of the story, the plot reveals that, spoiler, Faye, Kratos' wife that passed, put yellow paint in specific places that she prophesized Kratos would go. So she knew every step you would take leading up to the end of the game. So at least storytelling-wise, it made sense, but I still see why people, it bothers people a lot. Now, what I feel could help both parties in this argument is to have an option to turn off the yellow paint like visual cue, have it as like a texture that can be on or off. If some newer players like it, or it helps them find their way without frustrating them, then good. If another player can easily figure it out on their own without the need of detracting from the game's visuals and immersion, then they can turn it off. Either way, it seems these signposting methods won't be going away anytime soon. It's pretty much a yellow paint apocalypse.